Not only is Timbermate a wood putty, it is also an edge filler, end grain filler, sanding sealer and grain filler all in one. Very easy to use. Let me show you how easy it is to make a grain filler. Take your putty, take some putty out of the container and put it just into a little container to mix. Don't worry if you take too much putty. If you use too much, let it dry out and we'll put it back in the container afterwards. Put in the container and now add some water. The best way is to use warm water or hot water, because by adding the water it will soften the putty very much easier. I now take my putty and as you can see, once I've mixed it all in, it now looks almost like toothpaste. It's very easy to use and all I do is take a cloth, preferably a cotton cloth, take my grain filler and what I'm now going to do is I'm now going to grain fill my piece of wood. So there's my piece of wood, there's my grain filler and over the grain we go. Very easily, just cover the grain, go against the grain and now leave that to dry. It'll take a few minutes to dry, but you can also take it with a heat gun or warm up the environment and it will dry very quickly. So that's what I get. I now end up, when it dries very white. And by the way, whenever you're using it as a grain filler, don't worry about the color it dries. Grain filler will always dry lighter, but sands off very easily. All we will now do is we'll show you how easy it is to sand. Take your sandpaper and all we now do is sand. So we sand off our putty and as you can see from here, how nice and smooth it is after I've sanded it. If you also notice, you'll see all the colors of where the grain filler has filled. I've deliberately used a different color. If I'm going to stain, always use natural. Natural's got no colorant and as you can see it'll highlight what we've done and we'll add stain afterwards. But before I sanded it off, when the putty dried, this rough section over here is your sanding sealer. So it is not necessary to go and use a sanding sealer afterwards. So I've sanded it down and now all I am ready to prepare it.